Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Media Cows coverage of PAX, and we have a special presentation for you today. We had the chance to go to the Monolith Studios and have Shadow of Mordor demoed for, well, it's for me in particular.
I didn't get to go.
Nope.
But I am here at PAX.
Yeah.
We've seen some things so far, but Shadows of Mordor so far looked cool. I haven't seen any of this stuff yet. So.
Yeah, so I got to play it. I got about like 2 hours of hands-on time with the game itself, and I have to tell everyone, if you are a Lord of the Rings fan, you need to be excited for this game because it has so much lore and history behind it that it's just like, it's super awesome. They did a really good job of incorporating it, and for me, it's really the Lord of the Rings game that I feel I've been waiting for a while.
So even if you're a super hardcore Lord of the Rings fan, you know, those guys who like screw the movies, those suck. But
yeah,
like, even they should love it.
Well, one of the really cool things, and I'll be brief about this so we can get right into the gameplay. Mm-hmm. But one of the wraith, one of the main characters in the game is Celebrimbor, which is the forger of the Rings of Power, which is super awesome. I did not know that before here, and I'm really happy to figure that out. And Raymond, let's jump right into this gameplay.
Let's get into it.
All right, Raymond, so where we've left off is I've just died, actually, and we're watching the Nemesis system, and this is the ranking system of the orcs and the urks of power in this individual area. It's
the hierarchy shown to you in a really cool form.
Yeah, so this is unique to this game. It is... Like, this game, you will not see these characters in the game that you play because it's different.
Really?
It's dynamic. You might see maybe some similar names, but it's different happening. So what you're seeing here is it's changing up. Some guys died, some new guys came in. The really, really cool thing is you can go up to any urk or any orc in the game, and you can kind of bring him up through the Nemesis system to become a chieftain, and he fights for you.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not just enemies.
They're not just enemies. You can make them fight for you.
That's cool.
So this is
releasing a hound?
Yep.
Or a warg, I'm assuming?
It's not a warg. It's
not.
I'm blanking on the name. It's like a Kerrigan? So here's the stealth system. If you're familiar with the Assassin's Creed universe, it's very similar to that, actually.
Okay.
Do a little hop jump over here.
Hopping.
That's an execute.
Oh, they took off 2 heads.
Yep.
Already. So I know that people, like, the Assassin's Creed thing is a cool thing. The combat also feels a little Batman-y, too. Which we like.
Yes.
It's a good combination.
So this is a captain. There's special enemies found throughout the entire world, and they have special powers and stuff to them. You can actually go into the Nemesis system once you've found out about them and figure out what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are. Some of them, like, you can't stealth attack them. You can't do the little jump thing. Like, if you saw,
what was that?
So if you pay attention to the little combo meter on the left there, when it turns red, you can activate special powers. That was something that will stun and damage all enemies in that zone.
That's
similar
awesome.
to right there. The higher your number is, the more damage that does. So carry that combat here. And I do want to give a huge shout out to the developers at Monolith. That's actually one of them volunteered to play this game for me because, they threw you into, like, late game, and I had no idea what I was doing, and it was kind of overwhelming for me at first. So there's an example of a chieftain's power. You can't jump over him because he's immune to that.
You can't get that backslash like you could on the other guy.
Yep.
Got you.
So here we're dominating a foe, so you're imposing the wraith's will on that, and he now fights for you.
Nice.
So he's going to help take out all these other guys here, along with the captain here.
And if you don't kill him, he can possibly become a chieftain later?
Yes.
That's awesome.
The way that they become a chieftain is they actually have to kill you, because death doesn't work like any other game in this game. When death happens, time passes, and the Nemesis system works. Because you are undead. You're bound to the wraith's soul, so you don't die. You just resurrect. And that it interacts dynamically with the world. They will remember you.
So I'm really bad with Lord of the Rings lore, but so bear with me while I ask these really stupid questions. Is he like half Nazgul then, basically? Or
it's similar to that kind of world, the Wraith world, but he's not a Nazgul. Nazgul are the 9 men of the
Okay.
they got the rings of power. So, and they got corrupted by that. Celebrimbor, for if you want a little bit more history, and we're kind of going into the runes here. If you defeat a chieftain, you get special runes that will upgrade your weapons. So here, you get a 39% chance to critical, and you actually see it dynamically change your weapon,
That's
which is
awesome.
so freaking cool.
That is really cool.
But Celebrimbor was the maker, the forger of all the rings. He was tricked by Sauron to forge the one ring of power, and so he's kind of looking. He's out for revenge, more or less, because Sauron betrayed him.
I see.
So here's the skill trees. There's 2 skill trees. There's the Ranger, which is going to be more of your brutal combat. The slicing out the heads and the that kind of stuff. The Wraith powers is the dominating foes. You can do this shadow teleport thing, which is really cool. And the one that we just upgraded allows you to chain that. And we'll see that a little bit later.
So you can kind of blink from enemy to enemy and slice them up. That's
awesome.
So
the bow mode that you're kind of seeing there on the right is a kind of slow-mo Red Dead style kind of thing, where you enter into that and
slows
you're able
down
to
time
shoot
for a
people.
tiny bit, so you have time to line up your shot.
On the
cool.
bottom left, that's where on the far left, the red meter, that's our health. The white bar is that slow-mo meter. And then the blue is your ammunition for the bow in that slow-mo
How do you
mode.
know how to get more ammunition if you run out of bow, or does it recharge over time?
There's a couple ways. It does not recharge over time. You can either drain a foe, so you go up and dominate them and then drain them of their energy, and that refills that. You can find, if you go into your spirit mode, kind of like the detective mode for Arkham, for the Batman series, you can see sometimes there's just arrows around the world that you can just pick up and then replenish that. I think there's other ways too, but I'm not 100% sure. So right now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find the chieftain. If you see on the top left, our main thing is we need to brand the Warchiefs. We need to brand 5 of them. And so those are, in the Nemesis system, those are the guys at the very top. We're also trying to find a Graug, which is this huge, just monstrosity, troll-like creature.
It's got big claws, right?
Yeah, he's just super powerful. Like, you don't fight them. You can dominate them, and that's really, really cool. We haven't seen anything yet, but you can dominate these creatures in the world.
So we've selected this guy as our target.
Yep.
Rukdug Trollborn. He's half troll, Dewey.
Sometimes
he's part
he is
orc,
here.
part troll.
So it doesn't show it here, but I don't know if we're going to actually go over to another chieftain. We might. But this guy has no bodyguards left. If he had a bodyguard, it would have 2 lines drawing to some of the lower guys as, hey, this is my bodyguard. We've already taken out 2 of his.
So he's vulnerable right now.
Yep.
Okay.
And the way they described it is like there's an easy mode and a hard mode. If you want to go in, you can just go barreling in and try to fight the chieftain with his bodyguards. But it's going to be more difficult because those bodyguards are captains and they're strong.
You have to really know what you're doing and have the quick reflexes to boot.
So there's a lot of different ways to play it. You can go in stealthily. You can go in full bearing, like I'm gonna go and
go ham on them.
Yeah. The stealth is actually, it's a little interesting. Like it seems the enemies are very stupid. Like you can stealth in
AI
pretty obviously.
stupid, or
I think it is. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, this is not the final version of the game.
This isn't the final build, yeah. But I mean, at the same time, they are orcs. Orcs are stupid.
Yeah. So we're going
It's
over
accurate.
to the fortress here, and so in order to draw out these chieftains, there's little missions that will make you do things, because they're not going to just be roaming around anywhere. The captains are, but the chiefs will not.
They're holed up in their quarters. You gotta get to them or draw them out.
Yep, so we start a mission here, and it's going to tell us, hey, this is what we're going to have to do in order to draw him out. And so what this particular one is that...
and draw the Warchief forth.
Rain death from afar, huh?
Yep.
kill 5 supporters.
Oh, okay,
bow
so
attack.
this is different. That we play another one that you have to set like a bunch of people on fire.
Huh.
So this is you just have to shoot a bunch of people with your wraith mode arrow.
Okay.
And in that wraith mode, it was quick, so you probably didn't see it, but it highlights all the enemies in the surrounding area. We're looking for the yellow ones. Those are the supporters.
Oh, the blue ones, those aren't important, or as important?
Yeah, those are just the minions, the goons, and everything. So we're going to try to get in here stealthily as possible, because if we get in here and they set off an alarm,
then it's going to
then
be a
everyone's
very
going to
hard
come
fight.
at you. Yep.
Did they... I just heard voices. I don't know who's talking, if they found you or not. Doesn't look like they have.
Nope. He's looking for us. So this is a supporter. So it is someone that we have to get.
He's got to get got.
There's a bunch of supporters, not just 5. So
Okay, that's good to know. It's like, is it 5 specific goods,
Yep.
or is it just... Can it be anybody who happens to be yellow? That's good to know.
we managed to get him. So that's 1 on our progress way.
Headshotted him like crazy.
Right. Okay. So in the in that spirit mode, you can look at the red guys, which are chieftains, and you can mark them. So you
Oh.
can go in and figure out what these guys are, and look at all their different powers and abilities. There.
You can set up like, okay, I've got to go against this guy in a certain way versus a different guy.
So if you we're standing over it now, but basically inside our body is one of those arrows to replenish your supply.
Oh,
there.
I
So,
see that. It's impaled into the wall itself.
Yep.
Nice.
So we're kind of planning what we want to do here. This guy's out in the open. Now, you can kill that one guy, and they'll be suspicious, but they won't know where you are. But if you do fire a bunch of arrows down there, they will be able to track back to where you are.
Oh, because they'll be looking for it.
Yep.
And then they'll say, oh, that arrow came from over there.
So now what we did is we just activated a trap to distract everyone. It calls in these... they're Kerrigans, I believe, is what they're called.
Okay.
That was the warg-like creature that we saw earlier, and now they're just wreaking havoc
Because
in here.
they're wild beasts.
Yep.
That they keep, I mean, the orcs keep them around to do their dirty work sometimes. Or you're using it against them.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So there's another one there in case we need to distract them a little bit further. But there's a bunch of different things like that throughout all the fortresses that you can use to distract.
He did exactly what I wanted him to do, and I'm grateful to know that I can do that. It is very much Assassin's Creed looking, but it's in a good way.
Yep.
I'm ready to play this game if it's got the same kind of what we're seeing here.
So there we go. We got
got
all
all
of
5.
them. And this, I love this. They're chanting his name as he comes out all badass, like I'm gonna fuck you up.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness.
So we know we have 2 captains here, so we have to be a little bit careful because one way or the other eventually. That was the shadow strike.
Oh, you just teleported all the way up there and cut the dude's head off.
Yep.
That was awesome. You're gonna try to take these guys up from behind.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people here, and he's right by one of the captains, and that's a little annoying, so we don't want to have to deal with that. There we go. Dominate him.
Possess him or dominate him.
Yeah.
It's not a possession.
Dark Lord wants all men dead. I'm gonna kill you until you're dead. And Dark Lord like me.
He's got some goals, some aspirations, you know?
Yeah.
He wants to... Hey, you're going to make sure that the Dark Lord never likes him. Why do you... Oh.
So you can use that to get away from a bad situation.
Because that dude, he was about to screw you up with that giant sword of his, but now he's distracted by the other guy that you dominated. That's cool.
Luckily, this guy, that captain, was really weak, and so we were able to take him out pretty easily here.
Trying to pick us off from a distance, eh? Futile.
Doesn't seem to be futile to me, sir.
Oh god, I just
Wow.
freaking love the combat in this. It's so fun and stylized. The only complaint I have about this is that chieftain thing, when they have that little cinematic, that happens a lot, and so that can be like it happens a lot. So it's a little off-putting.
repetitive.
By not listening to our better instincts.
Kill him.
All right, so we don't want to kill him because our mission
Oh.
is we have to dominate the chieftains. He's one of the chieftains, and so we're going to dominate him. You have an option to kill him, but obviously our mission is to dominate him, so we'll do that. And then when you go into that menu, it'll allow you to do a couple different things. Eventually, I believe we end up actually going into that. But yeah, he's begging for mercy. So we can gain some intel. We can try to figure out like a little bit more about the army. The command will be basically he's just gonna kind of go and hide for a little bit, and then when we want him to come out and work for us, that's what he's going to do.
That's what was chosen?
Yep.
Commanding him. He is ours now, our puppet.
That, and you can have this entire, like all of this army can be yours.
That's really cool.
Yep.
Well, how do you replace the dead guys?
They eventually come in and replace themselves just as time passes.
And that's what was going on at the beginning when you saw that when it was highlighting the new people who were coming in?
Yep, and they will infight too. So like let's say somebody on the lower level wants to advance, he will try to fight another guy
I see.
and then advance.
Take his spot.
Yep, and if you do want to kind of train people up from lower to all the way up to the chieftain, you kind of need to follow them around and help them out. Because, you know, it's hard to advance, and you want to ensure that.
But if you want, you can have your own personal army from scratch that comprised of orcs that are fighting for you against other orcs or Uruk-hai or whatever. That's awesome.
So we're done with that there. That's one of the signal fires there, and there's no way you can destroy that, but what you can do is you can try to kill the person that's trying to set off the signal fire.
Oh, because they're trying to alert the whole camp now that they know you're here?
Yep.
That's a bad man. You need to stop him.
So I believe what we're going to try to do here is we're going to try to find a Graug, just because they're freaking awesome, and he was telling me about how you can mount them and how you can destroy with them, and that's I was like really interested in that.
Do you know what part of Middle-earth we're in right now? Because
we're in Mordor.
We're in Mordor.
Yep.
The little place you spawned in, or wherever this new instance came up, looked very elvish.
Yeah. So this is set directly after the events of the Hobbit, as Sauron's coming back into power.
Oh.
So he was. Somewhat spoilers for The Hobbit, but I mean it's a freaking old
it's
book.
The Hobbit.
So,
you should read that.
Sauron comes back out. You defeat Sauron at the end of The Hobbit, and then you go and he goes back into Isengard. And at that time, there's a bunch of Gondorians, rangers, and people watching over Mordor to make sure nothing fishy goes on there. Sauron comes back with his armies and says, "Okay, the 13 guys here, you go," and. That's basically Talion's family got murdered in front of him and everything like that, and he's out for revenge as well.
I see.
Gollum plays a very important part in this. He's
really?
going to be in here. I don't know if it's Andy Serkis, but I got to see a cutscene and it sounded like him.
If it's Andy Serkis, that would be absolutely sweet.
Yep.
Did they do the mocap too for the game?
So what we saw back there was there's slaves throughout the world that Sauron's armies have taken prisoner. You can go and free them and help them out, and even sometimes they will take up arms and start fighting with you. So, he gone.
So right now we're branding another war chief, or we're finding. What are we trying to do right now? What's our objective?
We're trying to find a Graug. We're still trying to do that, kind of walking around, and we're kind of showing off a little bit more things that the game has to show. So these guys haven't seen us yet. A
little bit more stealth gameplay.
Yeah.
You do jump attacks and kill them. Yes, you can. Okay. Officially buying this game because you can do assassin drops from the air and
he
kick him off the. Done. Purchased. $60 of mine is done.
And so how the line of sight works is actually they will keep on chasing you until you break that line of sight. So now he's like, where the fuck did you go? Orcs not known for their vision. There are Uruks in here, so the Uruk-hai. That is something that's starting to go into the
Are they
world.
smarter, or have you not seen those yet?
I believe they're smarter, but they're also just way tougher. So
okay.
And so here's something that you can do.
Christ.
You can do that to intimidate other people in the battle. So if that's how you start out, orcs and stuff will be scared of you because you just teared his throat out.
He's intimidating
with a knife.
me. You gutted the dude, just slashing away. Oh, get him! Oh, you got him in a. He said no to you.
Yep, this is it's a captain. And so this is really, really freaking cool. There are orcs and captains out there that are just crazy. And so they just sit there and they just like they laugh at you or they growl at you or something like that.
This guy's just mute. He doesn't speak. Oh. Kick him off the ledge. Or do that. That works too.
He resisted
no, it doesn't.
us.
Oh my.
So the skull above their head, when that turns green, that's when you know you can control them or dominate them. Some are more resistant to that. Hate of defeat is something where he's doing bad, and so
he's getting angry.
He gets angry, and then he starts regenning health.
Whoa. So
Yeah.
you gotta now focus on him a lot
Yeah.
to try to make sure he doesn't regain too much health and become a little harder. I mean, I was gonna say unstoppable, but let's face it.
Yeah.
We'd kick his ass one way or the other.
I just love that hop move. It's just
It is
it's
good.
so fun.
Nice counter there. Oh, that's just mean.
And he gone.
Poisoned. You're poisoned?
We are poisoned. That's one of his abilities.
Oh, he doesn't like that.
You stab him in the stomach, and he's like, whatever. I'll still throw you away.
Like you said, he's a crazy person. He doesn't care how much he's been stabbed. He's going to come back at you, but you got him.
Yep.
And you got some arrows? Or is that an upgrade to
That
your
is
bow?
a rune, so all chieftains or all captains will drop those runes throughout the world.
All right.
So it's a way just to upgrade your bow. That's what that was a bow upgrade.
So it's not only the big guys at the top of the hierarchy, it's also his front line. His not his front line, but
Yep.
his best of the best team.
All right, Raymond, we're back, and we're here with a Graug.
You
Look at
are
this
riding
guy.
what looks like a giant troll with claws.
Yep,
for
I
hands.
actually got special permission to record this. This was something that they didn't want us to record at first, but for whatever reason, they ended up letting us do this.
You and your wily ways.
Yeah,
you
so it's
seducer.
It's a short clip, but it is really cool, and it does show that you can do something. So now we run into this captain, and it's kind of unfortunate because he's a hunter, and so what that means is he's really good at slaying these beasts.
Oh.
And so we have to hop off to defend our mount, or else he's going to die. Because if we just stay on, this guy is just going to destroy him.
Okay, so certain enemies and certain abilities, even this giant thing, which I will continue to forget the name of,
The Graug.
the Graug, even that is not invulnerable.
Yep. And you know the really cool thing? And I asked about this. I was like, so is the Graug the biggest creature in here? He's like, no. No.
Are we gonna see some Oliphants?
I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some some Felbies. So
Ooh,
those,
the
dragons
the Nazgul ride, yeah.
And look at that. See our friend, he took him out there.
Nice.
Finishing move together.
You got another rune for your bow.
Yep, and now he's got distracted by something. He's a little low health, so
He said, ooh, something was over here to kill.
so, hey, settle down. We don't want to go that way. And then we run into another captain.
You, I'll fly your skin as a banner.
I just gotta say, it sounds like a great idea for a banner.
Yeah?
If I had a banner made of someone's skin, I'd be pretty proud of it.
You're gonna go
until
join
it started to smell.
the Greyjoys over there?
No, I'm not gonna join them. I'm gonna make their skins into banners. It's kind
Oh.
of leathery, you know. They got that more greenish.
So one of his powers one of his abilities is he can pick up people, eat them, and gain health back.
That is so awesome. Oh my god.
He's pretty low, so he's probably gonna end up dying here, and there he goes. He's gone. But
no! Whoa. He just
disappeared, and
disintegrated.
That's all we have to show of Shadows of Mordor right now. And if you guys are really liking this content, make sure you let us know, because I'm super excited about this game. I love Lord of the Rings, and everything that I've been shown from this game and played has been amazing so far. So I can't wait to play it. Yep. One last thing about that Graug is what we wanted to do is you can go into one of those fortresses that we were in earlier and just let him wreak havoc in there, and
Just
he
let him
just
go.
destroys it, and
That's
it's
awesome.
so cool. But with that, you guys make sure you stay tuned, hit that subscribe button so you can see all of our content from PAX, and if you haven't already, go check out our Road to Arkham Knight video, because those are super awesome. So yeah, we'll see you in the next video.